Jodie, we made it.
Aiden? Ever since the Black Sun was destroyed, my memory has been disintegrating. I spent too much time on the other side. Now it's eating away at my mind, erasing what's left of it. My memories are all confused, slowly self-destructing, fading like a dream when you wake up. I'm losing my sense of time. I no longer know what happened before or after. Everything's playing inside my head at the same time. It's like watching the same film looping over and over again. A chaos of images with no order. So I've been writing night and day for weeks, trying to put my life down on paper. If I forget everything, these pages will be my memory.
3 months after the fact, the investigation continues in an effort to determine the cause of the accident that cost 283 lives on a Pentagon military base. Government representatives confirm that the authorities are working hand in hand with the investigators to shed light on this appalling tragedy.
The CIA is leaving me alone for the moment. I suppose they're too busy building another condenser to worry about me. I know they'll never abandon their experiments, now that they know what's on the other side. Honestly, I don't give a damn. Now I need to reconstruct my life. My life without Aiden. For as long as I can remember, I dreamt of living without him. Untied, without his constant presence by my side. I got what I wanted. I've never been so unhappy in my life. I feel like part of me has been amputated. Crying all day. I know it's stupid. Shit. I miss him so much. It took months. months of nothing passing by. And I woke up. I knew it was time. Time to start again. To build a new life.
Oh, interesting.
It was so obvious. Deep inside, I always knew. I just needed the silence around me to hear what I was feeling. I told Ryan I couldn't see my future with him. We've been through too many difficult times together. Times I want to forget. He said he understood. That he'd wait as long as it takes. I know I felt something for him. It just wasn't strong enough. They took me in when I was alone. When all I could think of was dying. They shared the little they had without knowing me or judging me. Deep down, I knew that my place was there. With them. Stan does odd jobs here and there. Jimmy's gone back to school. He's clean now. Tuesday works behind a bar, and Walter looks after little Zoe. They're not rolling in money, but they manage. I never told them about my past, and they never asked. They love me for who I am. Just some weird chick who talks to spirits. Zoe took to me like we'd always known each other. There's something about her big, sad eyes that reminds me of the little girl I once was. I knew she was different from the moment I saw her. We haven't talked about it, but we both know we have something in common. I see things at night. Terrifying things. I tell myself it's only nightmares, but I know it's not true. The only one who can save the world is a little girl. I have to prepare her. I know I don't have much time. Once Pandora's box is open, it can never be closed again. No, it's not nightmares. It's what is about to happen.
Whoa! Okay. Whew. So, if you're watching this and you're listening to me talk
Next time,
at this current moment,
I'll kill everyone.
I went through the Beyond ending first. And if you haven't watched that, go and watch that right now.
How much time do we have?
Go.
to activate this up?
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give you time to go because you have to see that. I think you have to see that first before you see this one. So go. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about this. This is crazy because in the Beyond ending, you choose to just pass on into the infraworld, and you see the little girl Zoe, a little bit older, and she's starting to have these visions, and you realize that she has this ability as well. And so to see this, the way that this has progressed, is very, very interesting. Now, it's tough to say because I kind of talked about at the end of my last of the Beyond ending, where I look at this game as more about how to deal with death and how to deal with people passing on and how to let people go. And by choosing the Beyond ending, you're not letting Aiden go, right? Because he's essentially been tethered to you your whole life, and you can see here that at the end you're clearly distraught about it. And it's tough because I think that originally you start out like being afraid of him, and then you accept him, and then you love him, right? I made that comment a little bit earlier on, and that now letting him go in the long run is probably the best thing for us, but it doesn't make it any easier. And what's interesting is that all this buildup is the prequel to us basically going out into the infraworld to essentially rid the either the infraworld or prevent the entities from entering into our world. And so now we have this little girl with us to help us do that. And I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on any deeper meanings that may have, but I could talk for hours about my different thoughts on it. And this would be one of those games that I would love to discuss with you guys, because there's so many different viewpoints, and everyone's own interpretations are going to be legitimate and are going to be different. Okay? So the question is going to be, well, which ending did I prefer? Honestly, I think I preferred this ending better. I like the fact that you're letting Aiden go. This is a more of a real ending, because you're going back into the real world, and you leave Ryan, and that's fine. You kind of have like the relationship with Ryan has always kind of been hot and cold. Like you've always felt that there was this serious relationship there. But there was just always that like little nagging thing that was kind of like, I don't know if this is for real, or it's tough. And so that relationship was always very difficult for me. And when the choice was presented at the end, either beyond or choosing life, I looked at it as choosing Aiden or choosing Ryan Clayton. And I think when you look at it like that, you got to choose Aiden. But then when you gotta look at, I've never really gotten to live my life as Jodie, because you've always kind of lived for Aiden. He's always kind of been in control, even though you're in control. Just him being there has held you back from a lot of things. It's pushed you into a lot of different things, like the CIA and being involved in all of this, all these events happening around you. But at the end of the day, I think it really does hold you back. You don't get to grow as an individual. And now that Aiden's gone, it's obviously devastating, because that's a huge part of your life, just, as she said, amputated. And so I think I preferred this one because there's more like personal growth to Jodie, and I'm okay with things not working out with Ryan Clayton, and going to see Zoe and that group at the end. I feel like, yeah, there's probably different ways that could have ended by going to see Ryan Clayton and by going to see the other endings, or just staying alone. But I honestly feel like going back to see Zoe and that group is like the best possible thing. I feel like they truly accepted me when I was at my worst. They took me in, they supported me, they didn't ask me a lot of questions. They were just like, you are who you are, and we support that, and we want you to, we just want you to be who you are and be comfortable. And that was great. And then we're gonna be able to share our experiences with Zoe, and she's gonna grow up having kind of a little bit more of a support system than we had, because our mother was obviously taken away. And we can kind of provide that support level for Zoe, and that's kind of like the next generation or the next iteration of what we're going through. So I preferred that. I think that's great. It would be great to go back and check out what those other choices were between choosing Ryan Clayton and choosing to be alone, and then the other choice. But I honestly kind of feel like I want this to be the last memory that I have. I feel like this is the best. This is the right way to end this game, and I think that this experience, it really makes you think about, how do you accept death, and how do you look at life after somebody passes away, or after you pass away? Like, is it just the end, or is there something else? And there's a lot of questions that this game brings up, and I think it's done that in a really interesting way. Granted, as I said, I had a few more critical comments on the other video about kind of things I did and didn't like about the game, so go and check that out if you want to hear that. But I personally preferred this ending. I think it was great. And just in case you're not going to go check out the other video, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support. It means a lot to me. I had an amazing time. Oh, also in this one, because you have to play through the whole last area, that convinced Dawkins, I'm guessing that that means, because what happened is I chose a different option with Dawkins at the end by the Black Sun, and he didn't shoot me, he ended up shooting himself. And so I convinced him, I guess, to not kill me. It really, that's all it was. It wasn't a big thing. He aimed the gun at me and then put it to his head and shot himself. So one thing about the choices that I didn't say at the end of the other ending, was that the choices, although they seem minimal, every choice you make does have a reaction, and it does do things differently. You may end up getting to the same point, but the way you get there is slightly different. And I really like that. I like that things are subtle, but at the same time, everybody always wants these big branching storylines, right? And I'll make the same comment I made over on the other video, is that with budgets like, you got it from a game developer's perspective, it's really hard to do. You're working with A-list actors. There's lots of technical issues, and even more from just a financial perspective why they can't do it. Of course, it would be amazing if it was like 2 totally different experiences depending on different choices you made. But I think they did a good enough job with the choices towards the end to really make a difference, because the ending of the Beyond choice and the Life choice, they are completely different. Completely different. So if you haven't seen the other one, go and check it out. But yeah, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. I thoroughly enjoyed this experience, if you couldn't tell. This is one of the easiest games to get immersed into, and I have had the best time playing this, and I hope you guys did too. So thank you so much for the support, guys. Really, 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 really appreciate it. You guys are the best. I honestly think that I've been blessed with like the best viewers on YouTube. I say that all the time. My mom reminds me of it all the time. But you guys are just like, the thought you put into comments and the thought you put into everything that you guys do is just super impressive. And I hope we can continue that as we continue to grow. So with that, I bid you adieu, and we'll see you in the Beyond.